So I know that at the moment it looks like a very messy puzzle, but that's just because it's, could you call it a line drawing really? I don't know. It's a puzzle. There are lines everywhere. Although by seeing it you could probably sort of guess at the gist of what's going to be happening. But there's a lot of nuance, and there's a lot of stuff that I have in my head, in my mind, as to which becomes more important, which becomes less important, where the general colors are going to lie. And you can't quite see that yet. Now, I'm not going to get very far here because everything's wet. These are today's black lines. But hey, black lines matter. I think what I'm going to do, maybe you could call it sky. Sky, if there is any, is not going to play much of a role in this painting, but we'll make that somewhat muted. I'll go to a bluish gray, I think. Yeah, bluish gray, but also purple. So I'm going to mix a little bit of raw ochre, a little bit of alizarin crimson, and some white. You know, in the last video I mentioned that I thought that I would really like to have a lot of autumn color, because we have a lot of autumn color right now too. But then once I started to lay things in, I thought, yeah, you know, I haven't done a snow scene for a while, and I love doing some snow scenes. But then we can have a mix of both. We could have a hint of a remnant of autumn colors, and we could also have snow on the ground. So maybe let's shoot for that. Either way, what I like about this kind of painting, and sort of especially the technique that I'm going to be using here, is you end up with so many interesting shapes. At least to my way of thinking, you do. And I find cutting into these dark lines that I have on here, they just end up, I don't know, the shapes are kind of sharp. If I were to paint the background and then paint the foreground over top of it, somehow you don't end up with as vivid shapes as doing things this way. But we'll see. It'll just be a work in progress until it's not. That's an okay color, muted. It's very central. It's okay. Because I'm having snow on the ground, I have the option of putting snow on this roof as well. I'm not sure I'm going to do that, but I know that I can pull a lot of light onto this roof. So even though what I'm doing right now appears to be very central, and indeed the face of this shed is quite central, I can easily pull it to the right by having higher values on the roof, or I can pull it to the left by increasing the strength of this trunk a lot, this tree trunk, and putting more autumn colors in the distance there. I'm not going to decide that yet, don't have to. I should do is make sure that even in this small area, I vary the values a little bit. And the colors slightly. You know, adding a little bit of alizarin crimson. Adding a bit of yellow ochre. Warm up the odd spot. All right, it's something. But as soon as I touch those dark lines, I pull color. I pull that the dark paint into the lighter color. So I think we'll probably just leave it at that for a moment. It already helps to, this line coming down, to point our attention to the structure, or conversely, allow the point of this structure to spread out. Okay. We'll leave it at that, guys. See you soon.